What is good, everybody? Welcome to another extravagant episode of Between Frets. Well, women in the industry of entertainment come together to talk some tea, really. We just talk anything that's entertainment. Any tea we like to do, we spilling it, okay?
There we go.
So this particular Fret Tea Talk, we actually talked about this in the group text, and now we're going to call y'all out. We know who you are. So whoever's watching or listening to this, if you that specific person that does that, oh yes, we are calling you out. And we are talking about overplaying musicians. Seriously, y'all
Not
are
the booze.
y'all are team too much. Seriously, team too much. You're doing the most, and that's making y'all asses sitting in the bench.
Oh wow.
It's true.
Not bench riding.
You should, because the whole point of being a part of a musician in a band, you're supposed to support. If you're working with an artist, you have to support the artist. You don't need to have every single song to be a solo, unless the artist asks you to do one. It's okay as guitarists, and all of us here are guitarists. We know when we fit in. Know your role. So, yes, we can add a little fill-ins, a little bit, especially we played the same chords over and over again in the whole entire song. Yes, adding little fit-ins, fit the vibe, but you don't need to do a solo while the singer is singing, or it's not your turn to do it yet. So let's start off with Jen. What is your perspective on this topic?
Oh gosh, you had to come to me because I'm telling you right now, I'm kind of experiencing it, which I don't normally experience a lot of it with situations that I'm in, because most of the musicians that I play with are like pretty pro, even locally. They kind of know what to do and when to do it. But yeah, recent experiences take somebody new coming in to a brand new project or an established band. Maybe the musicians, or we don't know the actual, resume of the person, but we know that they're very good players and they have a good repertoire because they've been playing, or at least thinking that they have the repertoire and whatever. But you come in and you come into rehearsal and everything's fine. But then when you're out there on the show, all of a sudden you are super loud. First of all, super loud. Now, I know that being a musician and playing some of these local stages, they don't have the best sound setup. But when we play, we have the best setup. And then you're playing 25 notes in a chord progression, in like a 2-bar chord progression. There's 20 plus notes added to that, and overplaying a lot, not listening, not looking, and then getting a little upset when you're called out on it. Most of the time, if I were in charge, you would be fired. Like, I don't care at that point. And I think it's a lot of people get to the point where it's like, oh, well, they're very respected, very high-end musician. If you're not staying in your lane and you're constantly sitting here showing off and you have to tell them all the time, then you're going to have a problem if they're not listening. You know what I mean? I think the one genre that is allowed to do that, and I can't, and I'm no good at it, is
Jazz?
gospel. Oh, jazz. No, jazz isn't that bad. And everybody says that. Everybody says, oh, jazz, you could play the wrong note. It's gospel to me. And I know the gospel heads are probably going to be angry at me, but I've been in I'm talking like church, like Baptist gospel, like you're at the church and they're doing their shout music and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff makes my hair, I'm like, yeah, I mean, my hair goes, because everybody is playing every little space.
Yeah.
Every little, you're talking bass, the guitar. Well, I'm the guitarist and I'm trying to find that space. I'm a pocket player, so I'm trying to find the space where I can play. Then you got the drummer, and then you got the keyboardist, and then you got the keyboardist yelling, 5,
Yep.
2,
Yeah.
4, and they're like, so everybody is like all over each other, and I swear to God, sometimes I just stop and I'm like, I don't even play because it's just too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get a lot of those type of gigs, and sometimes when I do get them, I try not to downgrade myself, but I'm like, if you need me, that's fine, but in my voice, I'm like, I'd rather not, just because I don't know. That's a one genre that I really feel like my weakness in it, even though people are like, don't, whatever, but I admit my weaknesses, and that genre is like, I haven't mastered how to get around it. There's certain genres that I probably wouldn't touch or try not to, because but to come in and have musicians do that and then not realize it and then get angry, maybe that I feel like is
They get angry when they called out, though, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying every musician does that. I could admit that in my local area, there are a lot of old heads out there. And when I talk about old heads, I'm talking about, guys that are old. And it's mostly guys. And I have to say, guys, excuse me, I'm calling, like, hey, Shorn said this was open field. So I'm going to call him out. But there's some older cats out here that have such an ego and do not like female musicians. I mean, they may say they like female musicians, but what I've experienced in my group, because I am a guitarist and I have 2 vocalists who are female. I have my band leader is a female, and she's very vocal. She's very stern. She's a strong woman. And sometimes these guys try to downgrade her, or they don't talk to her. Like if we're at a gig and the manager or somebody comes up and is talking to the drummer thinking that he's the leader, ooh, you don't do that because she gets angry. I've had like some old heads come to me, or like friends of like, more of like the musicians that I play with, their friends come in that are a lot older, and they come in and they, we could do that jazz thing, play B flat 13 to A augmented plus 25, and all this kind of like shit. They do that and they don't even talk to me.
Oh, wow.
That kind of, it still happens.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, there are a lot of nerdy old heads that I've experienced around here. I'm not saying like when I go out on the road and stuff, I don't experience anything like that really in musicians. It's all love.
We all know one old head who doesn't like female musicians. But go ahead.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. So we ain't gonna say no names. We might.
No names.
We might have to censor this out.
Right.
It will be a disclaimer in the beginning, like parental discretion is advised. So.
But like, don't most musicians give you a chance to shine though? Or they still trying to overplay outside their little time to, go all out?
Yeah. You see, I think there's a misconception on like overplaying, and like even the subject we're talking about. It's not that we're saying you should hold back, but to be a professional, to play in an environment where you're playing with different musicians, even if you don't know them, you want to make sure, first of all, you're getting hired to do a job. So you've got to know your music. Another thing is you never sit here and overplay or try to compete with the vocalist or whoever is in that spot. It's just normal standard musician etiquette. when you're going in to perform with a group. And a lot of people don't even realize that. There are musicians out there that don't do that. They play for themselves. Okay, experience, talking of experience, don't pay attention that all they're doing is sitting there doing whatever with their head down, and they don't realize that, hey, there's a break here. There's a break here. I mean, I understand that it's only been a short time since you're in this project, but you still got to pay attention. It's okay to make mistakes.
What are they trying to accomplish, though, to see if they can get a longer solo? I mean, what are you trying to?
I think it's more like you have, well, I'm just going by what I'm seeing in this particular case, that I think you have a lot of friends who are the old head snobs because, like I said, and I admit it, in this area, in the DMV, there's a group of snobs. In any genre. I'm not just talking like cover band or whatever, but there are a bunch of guys and gals who think that they're elite in this area, you know, the local gigs. So I think we talked about the pay thing, you know, but there's a group, and I think it's in every city, in every place. It doesn't matter, in every situation.
That's a people thing.
It's a people thing, that there's a certain group that think that they're, you know, whatever. And so you're trying to impress them, I guess. If you're a brand new musician, that's really the mindset that you have to go in on in order to get hired again, is you go in there, you know your music. You don't take that music and start changing it during a performance.
You're kidding me.
Yes, during a performance, all of a sudden you're playing tritones or whatever, or substitutions or dissonance, which, yes, they could fit musically in like a regular 4-bar major chord progression, but you're sitting here playing minor whatever. Theoretically, you probably could, but you're playing that when we're like not even playing that. If you are a jazz fusion band, yeah, you can go in there and change around, and the other musicians, if that's the situation where you're a jam band and you're playing, and you know, you all are hitting dissonant notes or whatever, you know.
You shouldn't do that during Wrecking Ball. That doesn't go together.
Yeah, you don't do that during during Bon Jovi. You know, rock song. You start playing these kind of weird chords, but it's just stuff like that where it depends on the situation. Again, if you're in a jam band, which I kind of think, you know, that might be the situation, and all you've done is played with a bunch of, you know, these fusion musicians, or these,
like a shed, like it's not a shed, you're actually
exactly
there doing
a shed. All you do is shedding. By all means, do all that. But if you're playing,
there's Autumn.
I know.
Hey, Autumn.
I think I'm overwhelmed working, and I'm gigging and working tomorrow. So I'm like, and then I got to fly out to New York. So I'm like,
we happy you made it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Nikki, I like your hair.
Thank you.
All right.
We're all well, we're talking about overplaying right now.
Yeah.
So we'll just continue on, and you can fall right in. If you're playing artist music or cover band type stuff, or then you need to make sure that you stay in your lane until maybe at a rehearsal, it's like, okay, let's do it like this. Let's change it like this. But if you're doing this at a performance, like all of a sudden you're taking it somewhere else, it's like, yo, don't do that. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to overplaying or knowing your place in the beginning and how not to get fired from your job.
Is that a discipline thing? Like you're just getting into the music, you're not used to being with the band, or like you're getting into it, you just take it somewhere else? Is that discipline, or is that wanting to show off, or is that getting into it to where you just like lost in the music type thing?
You could be lost in the music. I mean, I don't want to like downgrade, you know, like, and say you shouldn't do that. Yeah, you should do that, but really you should be paying attention.
Yeah.
The bottom line is paying attention.
Yeah.
So if you all of a sudden are like looking at new musicians and they're like, yeah, let's groove. Yeah, you're going to do it. And I think that comes with experience. The bottom line is paying attention. So yeah, you can groove all you want. You need to make sure that your other players are in sync with that.
You know, this reminds me of I don't know if y'all seen the video where Michael Jackson's on stage. He starts singing, "Brad, you're gone. Brad, you're fired," and he put it into the song because Brad kept messing up. So he actually sung it on stage, like, "Brad, you're fired. Brad," he like put it in the middle of like "Smooth Criminal" or something.
That's
so
harsh.
it's like, so it's like, I guess it happens at any level. People just get into it and they just like, okay, this is my time. Whatever happens, happens. I guess I don't know.
If you get touring with an artist and you do that shit, you're fired. Okay, that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I know, Autumn, I don't know if you've ever come across somebody like that.
Yes. Actually, I've been a couple of situations. First of all, you play what you're told. And that's with any situation. You play what they give you and what you're told. And then after you practice a little bit, you get comfortable and you speak to the MD, you let the, if you're going to add a little thing, it's got to be all right with the music director. You can't step on the toes of the singer or the keyboard player, the bass player, or, you really have to know your place, especially if you're new at a situation. Yes, you'll get fired in a minute. There's been one time, and it wasn't that long ago, when you're practicing at home and all of you ladies play, and you're learning a material like a cover, and by yourself, I've noticed I did this. I'm like, okay, I'll add like what the bass line is in my chord progression, or I'll add like a little bit of melody, and I'll just, because I'm practicing alone. I did that at a rehearsal, and the music director said, hey, don't play that bass part. It just so happened that it was part of the bass line, or don't play that keyboard part, because my chord, my chord triad or program, what I was doing was kind of stepping on someone else's toes. And I said, oh yeah, that was just because I'm rehearsing by myself. Simple mistake. They didn't get pissed, but they're like, yeah, you can back up because it's an 8-piece, 7-piece band. But other than that, when you're given music, if it is sheet music, recorded music, video, you do exactly note for note what you're doing if you want that job. And you don't want to be a show off, because people don't like that. Professionally or just a bar band, they don't like that. They don't like. They think that you're showing off. You have an attitude, or you're full of yourself. So just stay in your lane until it's okay to get comfortable. I did it with a live band in New York. It was original music, and I just did a little riff in between her vocals. And she looked back at me, she said, oh, I see you added yourself to it. And I said, yeah. She said, that's okay. But
I was nervous for you. Like, oh no.
It was something, I did a little riff within between the progression. And it was okay. But never do that. When you're playing professionally with theater or a touring band, you play note for note. You make sure you have the sound. That's it. Oh yeah, you'll get fired. Mm-hmm. And then you'll never get rehired.
Yeah.
Because you're a problem person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
As someone who plays in their bedroom, if I got a gig, I don't care if it's in someone's, garage.
Right.
I'm looking at whatever you tell me to play, I'm playing. I would be nervous to get fired. That would be my thing. Why are you not nervous that you won't lose the gig?
That's another thing, is ego.
It's a lot of that. And like I just mentioned, once you lose that gig, your name gets kicked around through the industry, or and don't work with them. They're hard to work with, or they're showboat, or they're full of themselves. Or and it will turn into a personality attitude thing, and not really have anything to do with your playing. It's you. You're hard to work with. That is how you get fired first. You're different. That's.
I'm thinking with the people that be overplaying, not only with their egos, do you think that every time they do that, are they trying to self-sabotage their opportunities in life?
Mm-hmm. Could be. Mm-hmm. Could be.
Probably.
Well, I think they're full of themselves. They're just like, I'm playing for me, not with everybody. You're not playing with the band, you're playing for you. Don't ever do that. And there's a lot of people that have done.
And that's and I hate to say this. Well, no, I don't hate to say this. That's on a local level too. Just like Autumn said, you do exactly what the music says, and wait until the MD, tells you, I want you to add this. Exactly. But on a local level too, which I think is a lot of disrespect, just because it's local and you're going into a project going in there, whether it's a cover corporate band or a artist, you still need to stay in your lane in the beginning and not add so much extra and stick to those cover tunes. When I chart my music out, I always put the keys of like what key it's in, because if I ever get called for a solo, then I know what key I'm in and then I can fake my way using my scales.
I totally agree with that too. Like with covers, when I'm learning a cover, and there's a guitar part. There's been times that there's no guitar, or the guitar is so mixed down. You're like, where is it? So then I have to work with, well, what's the keyboard doing? What are the vocals doing? What are the strings doing? And I'll play on a riff. I'll do like the horn part or something like that, just to do fills. But there's been times that I've been hired and there's actually no guitar at all. There's only keyboard, piano. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? And then I have to, like yourself, you have to chart it out. Then you just find yourself. I think that comes with the experience of success and failure.
And I just think some people are just intrinsically, they're just solo people. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a solo-minded person fit into a group, you know?
We think, wow, somebody has so much talent. Like you thought, wow, like they really have like a lot of good skill. And then you play with them and they're like not locking to anything.
They can't. That's not their mindset to lock. It's like, look at me, I'm here for me. Like I said, like I'm a bedroom player. You got bedroom players who they just shed all day, or they just like shred all day. And if you put a song in front of them, it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? So just because you're a great player doesn't mean you have the mindset to be in a group. You know?
That means you're a great player in your bedroom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, when you get with an ensemble, you're not that great anymore.
Exactly.
And you won't get called back.
Exactly.
You have to be a team player.
Yeah. I mean, I think these people in their heads think they're, they're on the stage by themselves. People just come to see them play, or come to see them with their acoustic guitar and it's just them on stage like Adele, you know what I'm saying? So, they're not thinking that it's like 5 or 6 other people with them. That has to be the mindset. There's no way that I'm getting a gig and I'm going there, okay, I'm gonna play every note that I know. Like, who does that? I mean, I guess a lot of people, I guess.
Gospel. I'm sorry. I got to call that out again. Damn.
Well, see, I'm used to that. I grew up in the churches, so you can hear every spot to put in. Yeah. And you can hear that. But if you didn't grow up with that, your mind won't feel that in.
But I guess that's a type of player that I am. Like I listen to everybody, and then like even at jam sessions, I'll listen to everybody and I'll try to stick what I can in where I feel like I can fit in, and that it'll complement the situation and more than be freaking all over the place and have this big train crash.
Shout music is not your thing.
I could probably handle it, but when I hear all those instruments going at it, competing with each other, it just, to me, I can't deal with that.
It sounds like a car crash collision with everybody, like a big 10-car crash when all these instruments all loud and volume wise and everything. You hear like, okay, I don't know where I'm fitting in, because I'm like, the organ player is overplaying. What the heck they doing? I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the key is, the song is, and then the player doing that walk, like boom, 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 boom.
Exactly.
And you're like,
what the heck are we playing? What key? It did that with me at church one time. I'm saying, what the heck are you playing? Like, what key are you playing?
No, like Genny, that's what you said. You gotta listen. 5, 4.
Yeah, 5. The 2.
We're back to the
2. You're like, oh my gosh, I gotta listen to that. Like, I'm a visual player, so I gotta listen to that, and then I gotta listen to where I'm trying to stick stuff in. Like gospel, I give it to the gospel players, man. Damn. shout out to all those gospel players because they are, I mean, they're sick. They're sick players. They're they're really, really great players. I mean, shout out. I'm not downgrading the musician.
No.
It's just the music.
You gotta know your strengths.
Crazy.
Like that's when you listen to people like in the Snarky Puppies or in PJ Morton's band.
Oh,
All
PJ
them people are churchy people. You can hear it and how they play.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, so we're going to close this out. Any final words that we can, before we wrap things up, any final words? If I would say, if it's final words, I would actually say, yes, know your role. Pay attention. Listen to the music. Like, listen to your part. Focus on your part. And if you think that is like a right part to add your part into certain things, yes, talk to the leader or the artist. Anybody else have any closing remarks real quick?
Yeah, so see, everything you're saying is from, if you're playing the church or jazz band, you can't listen to numbers because the keys change within the song.
Yeah.
Right? And if you, like I said, from the bar gig to the wedding gig to the church gig to the theater to the tour, you better listen to what you're told. Find your space, but less is more. Sometimes let things breathe and just groove and record what you're doing and go home and listen. The main thing is listening and enjoying yourself. But if you think it's all about you, you get your own band and let it be all about you.
Exactly.
Good point. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm just saying, you want to keep your job, then don't overplay.
That's right. And sometimes really quickly, if you're not sure, if you have sound effects, Jenny, all of us, we have these like swells and little delay, and you have all these pedals and stuff like that. Sometimes just give a little sound effect, just fill in little spots. Just lay, they say just lay, and enjoy it, because if not, you'll get stressed out.
So there you have it, ladies and gents. So with our little tea and our expressions, overplayers, stop it. You don't need to hear you. We heard you, but you're doing too much. So this is the end of our little show, a little episode of Overplaying Musicians.
Yes.
I'm Shorny Shorn. We got Genny Jam. We got Lacole Rose. And we have Autumn Tuesday. Until the next episode, follow us on all our social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Buy our merch. Go to our website, fretsisters.com. We have new merch adding into there, which I'm going to do that later. So I'm going to check and order some stuff too. So there's some new merch get ready to come in.
More bucket hats, but not the frayed ones, the regular ones.
So make sure buy a merch, because the purchase of the merch helps us, helps the company, helps us to do more content. So be prepared, because we are doing extra content in our social medias, and that's your ask was to have more content. We are granting that wish.
There we go.
So be on the lookout. One of us are doing random posts on our social media, so please follow us, because you never know, we'll be on these streets.
That's right.
So until the next episode, bye everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Enjoy playing.